Hello, everyone. Madam Z here, your spiritual counselor and your magical life coach. I hope that you are doing well. I have a query error. Hopefully, it will be okay. So let me hop on over to, I think we're live. Let me make sure we are live in the group before we get started on what my topic for today is. So I think it's on this one. Let me see. I'm trying to remember where it's at. I think we're right here. I think we're right here. There we go. All right. I think we're good. So hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Give me some hearts or thumbs up and let me know if I am coming through to you. So my name is Madam Z. I'm a spiritual life coach, and we're just going to sit together. And for the next 30 minutes, I am going to talk about some creatrix energy, talk a little bit about me. This is the first time in the group for me, so hello, everyone. Let me move my camera a little bit so it's a little bit centered. I'm in the middle of moving, so we just moved, so our house is kind of chaotic. So you have to excuse the setup right now in the background. Um, but this is my first time going live in the group. So I'm so glad to be in the group and to be welcomed in the group. Such a great way to connect with other souls and other people that are like-minded and on the same energy. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Madam Z. I'm a spiritual life coach, the head mistress of Madam Z School of Witchery, where I mentor and teach women to be empowered all through alchemy and magic. So welcome to my little piece of the world. So, a little bit about me. I started off Christian a long time ago and I left Christianity and I decided that I needed more divine creatrix energy, the divine feminine in my life where I felt more empowered. I lived in a small town in Alabama. I've been doing this, I call it witching. That's just what I resonate with. You can call yourself whatever label. Who wants labels, right? I kind of am in the mindset now where we just live in the moment and we just don't box ourselves into society labels. You'll find that your path is going to be a windy path and not a linear path. So where you start off in your craft right now is probably not where you're going to end up. I know mine hasn't. Um, so I left Christianity, tried to find a path that resonated with me, and the only thing that was available in that small town in Tennessee was paganism or Wicca. So I dove deep into paganism, and that has been my entire life for so many years, and I have taught so many people how to empower themselves through the goddess energy, through alignment, through creatrix energy, how to walk with the goddess every single day, how to heal your witch wound, how to heal your wound, even if you don't resonate with the word witch. Any female that is empowered has some kind of rebel inside of them. Um, so I have helped so many people just fall in out of what society thinks they should be and fall into the arms of the universe, into the creatrix energy, into what the universe wants you to become and what you are aligned with. So let me go over to the Facebook group and see if we have any comments. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. So, let's talk a little bit about what goddess energy is about and how you work with your creatrix energy. Now, I know that we just went through this whole crazy lunar eclipse, and I have a drink on the side, so the energy of the lunar eclipse was really insane. It's interesting because, like I said before, I just moved into an old 1908 house, And so we are still getting used to what is going on with the energy in the house, where the moon is in regards to location, how our sleep patterns are, because the eclipse affect me more than retrogrades do. So can I get like a raise a hand on that? Yes, so I can get through any retrogrades, but the eclipses are a little bit different. So as I was lying in bed, just being in awe of what I have manifested in my life, and this has been a lifelong dream of mine to own an old historic home, honor it, and to hold classes and to have my students come in and spend retreats with me, in-house learning, room and board. So all of that has actually been manifesting, and now it has come true for me. So I was laying in bed last night, and the full moon was shining above our heads. I've never been in a house where you could just lay in bed and just be bathed in the energy of the moon. So and I have a huge display case that has all my crystals, all my oddities, all my magical tools that the sun and the moon shine in on daily and nightly. So I'm so thankful to the goddess that now I don't have to scramble every full moon to try to gather all my crystals and get them charged and cleansed and rededicated. It is automatically done for me. So it's almost like the moon energy or the universe and the moon goddess has brought me to a full circle to where I need to be in my practice and where I can provide healing, alignment, goddess activation, wound healing, karmic healing, and cord cutting to releasing things that no longer serve us. And now that I have manifested a place that I can actually do that in person and live, and of course over Zoom, is just almost draw dropping. It's almost like I've made it. It's taken me a long time to create this because I knew what the vision is I wanted, but I had faith every single day. I worked in my healing every single day of releasing, of clearing out things that no longer serve me, of stepping into fear of the unknown, fear of being seen, fear of being heard. So let's face it, because a lot of us are dealing with the witch wound still. And so anybody who is suffering from the witch wound usually is someone who is still feeling less empowered, still haven't found their voice, still feeling afraid, still feeling like they aren't good enough, they aren't worthy, still feeling that they can't ask for that empowerment, and being just in a bad situation all the way around in your life. That comes from past lives, and that comes from the witch wound that has not been healed yet. And that's where I come in as a practitioner of the goddess energy and of healing and aligning and really just focusing on the life lessons of the karmic lessons and that witch wound so we can heal that. So if you're here, let me know where you are watching from. I would love to know. I'm giving some time for people to come in and to tell me where they're at. If you catch the replay, hit replay on the comment. That's fine. I know not everybody is able to catch me on 3 o'clock on Central Time. So if you're watching the replay, I'll still give you some replay love. So let's talk about goddess energy for today. And I'm going to pull some cards. But in the meantime, I'm going to be pulling cards from the Goddess Temple Oracle deck, which I am a tarot deck whore. I swear, I love anything tarot deck, oracle deck. I mean, you should have seen me moving these things. It was just insane. So this is the tarot deck or the oracle deck that I am going to be drawing from today. I've been doing this type of activations and type of energy work for probably 30 plus years now. So I've been doing this for a very long time. So I'm not new to this. So I've been doing this before internet, before TikTok, before Instagram, before all of that stuff when we did our sessions live. And I had to have a mentor, and we had to actually do practice before we were allowed to level up. Hello, how are you? Is that Zevka? If I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, Zevka. So on the description of the video, you can see where all my Instagram links are, my social media links are, my website is. Go check it out. And I'm going to post a freebie in there too. So if you're kind of stuck or you don't know where to start in your craft or your empowerment or what kind of magic you're attracted to, go ahead and take my free quiz, and I will put that in the links for you guys in the comments. And that way, this is a quiz that I created, and that way this will get you started to where you should start in your craft, where your empowerment is hidden and where it lies, and how to actually step into that power. So let's pull some goddess energy. So like I said before, I do everything with the goddess. I wake up in the morning, I light my incense to my deity, my goddess that I'm working with. I usually tell my students to work with a goddess for 30 days. Now you have some dedicants, so that's all they work with is one specific goddess. I work with many goddesses depending on what situation it is. I did devote myself to my very first goddess, which was Bridget. If we have any Celtic goddess worshippers here, please say hello to me and tell me your favorite goddess. And let me know in the comments what goddess you are working with, if any, or if you have questions about working with a specific goddess. Let me know. We work with all types of goddesses. We work with light goddesses. We work with goddesses of the underworld, the dark goddesses. We work with goddesses of transformation. We work with beings. We work with all kinds of things in my school, all kinds of energy. Because remember, energy, everything is energy, right? So I don't want you to be afraid of like dark goddesses either, because you can get some really great transformation with dark goddesses in your life. My favorite dark goddess, by the way, is Lilith. If you want to learn more about Lilith, I suggest that you do some Googling. It's very interesting what Lilith is about. So let's pull some cards and see what goddess comes up and what energy we need to work with for the next 30 days. Remember that this is what I teach in my academy, and this is what I teach with my clients, and what I work with my clients in my program is which goddess we need to look at for 30 days. What rituals do we need to do? What integration do we need to focus on? What kind of cord cutting, energetic fields do we need to cut and remove in order for you to move forward into the energy of the goddess that you are meant to be? So it's a fully integrated program. So this is what I love to do. I love it. So, okay. So we are going to be working with the maiden energy. If you guys can see that, I'm sorry about the glare. Now, let's talk a little bit about the three aspects of the goddess. Now, there's a fourth one that's coming also. People are trying to lean more into. But let's focus on the main three right now. The main three forms of the goddesses are maiden, mother, and crone. Now, in between maiden and crone, we are leaning more toward the archetype of the creatrix or the archetypes of the queen energy. So this is the maiden energy that we're needing to work with. And I love how she's shooting for the moon. So let's talk a little bit about the maiden energy. The maiden energy is the young energy, okay? The young energy of self, of playfulness, of integration of your inner child. Mirror work is super important when healing child wounds. This is the form of, or the type of, well, where you're at in your life is where you should be very playful, energetic. If you're childbearing years, this is your childbearing years. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be of a certain age to have children. You can still be a crone in number-wise, but still have the energy of a maiden, okay? This is when you're learning things. This is when you're having playtime, when you're fun, when you're kind of still trying to figure things out, your youthful energy, um, your sense of adventure, all the stuff that you want to do and create in your life before you settle into who you are. So you may feel a huge shift in the energy of feeling very lighthearted, playfulness, don't want to be tied down. You want to explore. Maybe some childhood wounds are coming up that you want to heal or you want to focus on so you can be a fully integrated, energetic type of being. Now, I love this one, and this is about shooting for the moon, right? This is about dreaming big. So we just had the eclipse, and this is what I tell my clients: stop thinking small, stop dreaming small. The universe does not want you to play it small. They gave you all of this energy, all of this capabilities for you to play it big. Okay, so dream big, manifest big. So I love how she has the bow and arrow directed to the moon. So she's shooting for the moon. She's putting all her cares aside, all her fears aside. She's like, I'm going for it. I'm doing this. And all of us can probably relate to that. Oh no, what am I going to be doing? This is out of my comfort zone. Or it's a big leap of faith for you to leave that toxic relationship or start that business or leave your job or start offering services um, to the masses. So I want to touch a little bit on that before we go deeper into the card. Um, a lot of us now, with the shift of the energy that's happening, we need more healers. We need more light workers. We need more shadow workers. We need more integrative, healing type of workers because there's a huge shift. So now is the time for you to step into your powers. Okay? Don't be afraid. The universe is here to support you. This is what you were made to do. The universe and the goddess would not have given you this opportunity to do it if they knew you couldn't do it. So, the goddess associated with the maiden, especially for this image, is Artemis. Artemis is always depicted with the bow and arrow. She is the huntress. She has a very interesting, independent story. Her backstory is amazing about not wanting to be married, about being independent. She wanted to be in the forest with her woodland creatures, and be one with nature. So another thing that you can do to honor your maiden energy is to color, do some art, dance, get moving, play with, bubbles is another really good thing to release that energy of being too adult, for it being too heavy. We need to lighten your energy up a little bit because I feel it's stagnant, it's kind of heavy. So we want to be able to bring that playful energy in order for you to bring that flow of creatrix energy back into your life. Does that make sense, everyone? So when we don't honor our inner child and we don't honor the energy of playfulness, of color magic is another one that comes up, wearing the color blue, which the color blue has to do with your throat chakra, and this one all has to do with the color blue. So my allergies are killing me, y'all, so forgive me for the sniffle. So the color blue, turquoise, any kind of blue, has to do with your throat chakra energy. So what are you stifling within yourself? What is it that you need to speak about on your truth that you have not told anyone, or that you just don't want anybody to know, or you just feel small, you don't feel safe in saying that, or you just not speaking up for yourself, or what is your inner truth that needs to be said? Okay, so we want to invoke more playful energy, the goddess Artemis. So we want to do an activation on that. And like I said, I do have some sessions open, and I have a couple of one-on-one client programs that are available where we talk about all of this. We do integration, we do releasing, we actually identify what is holding you back and how to transform your life through the core cutting and integration. And let's see what we need to release for the goddess energy. Okay, we have to release surrender, right? Isn't that always the way it is? Surrender is the hardest thing for me to do because I'm a Taurus. So it's about letting go. As you can see her, she has her hands up by her side. She's not even steering. She is blindfolded. She is trusting. And I had a hard time with this because I'm a Taurus, so I'm naturally having to be in control or having to know what the plan is and what to work toward it. So she is just pretty much, and this is another one that has blue in it. So you guys are going to be working with your throat chakra for the next month. So this one really is about surrendering to who you truly are. Stop trying to go against the grain, right? Because it's so hard when you go against who you truly are, what you are truly meant to be. If you don't step into alignment, if you don't step and surrender to the process, it is never going to be prosperous for you. Sorry. You are never going to feel in flow. You're never going to feel like this is easy because it's not. It's not going to be easy because you're not in alignment. You're not living your truth. You're not in flow. You're not doing what the goddess has created you to do. You are living the world, or you're living the I won't even say atmosphere, but you're living a life of what someone else has created for you, not the life that you were meant to create for yourself. Okay? Yeah. And Vika said definitely. I hope I'm saying that right. So we have these two cards today for this week that we are going to be working on, bringing more fun into our life, surrendering the need to be in control, surrendering to fear, which fear is just not even really fear. Fear is something deeper that needs to be addressed so we can integrate that, where that fear comes from, what is the core of the fear, because the fear is just masking the core of the trauma. Okay? So these are the two cards we're going to focus on this week. Surrender to the process. Surrender to your inner child. Let the tears flow, the tears of feeling, the tears of emotion. If you feel angry, then go, run around. Go to a boxing kind of course or whatever you need to do. I am not about toxic positivity. If you are angry, you are mad, you are sad, you have to let that feeling known. You have to let that out, because remember, disease always manifests and trauma always manifests in your body. Disease is dis-ease in your body. It's dis-ease in the comfort of the trauma. Now, when I walk with my clients on this, and I work with them on a daily basis about integrating your trauma, I don't want you to think of it as we heal the trauma, because we don't. What we do is I create a sacred space for them to identify it, to feel it, to get angry, to release it, to learn from it, and to integrate it so it's always there, but you're not as triggered. Or when it comes up, you recognize it, you know what you need to do to pivot that destructive behavior that used to come from that place of being wounded to something that is positive. We never really heal our wounds. What we do is we recognize the patterns. We recognize where the wounds come from, and we recognize how we as a creatrix energy, we as powerful goddesses can take that wound and that trauma and turn it into alchemy, which is what we all are, is divine supreme alchemists. All right, everyone. Any final questions? We only have a couple more minutes, and then my time is up here. Madam Z, all of my links are in there. If you want to work with me one-on-one or in a group setting, please send me a message at madamz.com, and I will spend some time with you and give you some freebies that I have. I've been doing this for 25, 30 years. I have tons of content, tons of freebies for you guys all. But if you are ready to integrate your wounds, integrate your goddess energy, and become the creatrix that you are with card readings, through energy readings, with alchemy, through rituals, please send me a message. I don't want you to suffer by yourself anymore. I don't want you to feel alone by yourself anymore. I am here to help you. All right, everyone, walk with the goddess, and we will see you next week. Blessed be everyone.